Hello, welcome to another video. It's a sad, sad, sad day in the YouTube community. Two titans of the WoW YouTube scene have recently stated that they are quitting the game and not uploading WoW-related content anymore, except for a few projects that they already had in the works, or more specifically with PreachGaming. He's going to keep the community-related content, and I agree. Why he celebrates the players. It's funny stories with his drama time, and it's community-related. It's not based on Blizzard, as to say. But first up with MadSeason. MadSeason's videos always gave me that feeling of, a cozy, rainy day where you wrapped up in a blanket and you've got a hot cup of tea and you just sit down and you watch one of MadSeason's videos. Well known for his ASMR voice. I agree with the reasons as to why he's decided to move away from the game. One of his main points were microtransactions, more specific to what I said, basically that it's pay to win, and that links to character progression, and it's important in an MMORPG. It's all about building your character up. You start in Elwyn Forest with a wooden sword killing wolves, and then you aspire to be killing Ragnaros with this ginormous axe. But when you put in a system where you can buy currency and facilitate people selling boosts, then it just gets rid of everything that you work for. It takes away from every achievement in the game. Like I said, the hardest things to do in World of Warcraft is Gladiator and killing the last boss on Mythic before the next raid tier releases. And you can just buy all those things. But I'm not going to repeat myself too much, but that was one of his reasons as to why. And then another reason is more to classic WoW, that's really what his channel was once it released. He didn't really touch retail too much. But he made a great point that with classic, it's been there, it's done. We know the end. We knew what the best in slot was. We knew what the best class was. We know all the storylines, and it's a means to an end. We know it's going to end. We know the end already, and that goes with content creation and just his own enjoyment in the game. That there's only so much you can do. And then obviously his last reason was a more personal one, which is just his life. Like he doesn't have time for it anymore. Whatever's going on, we can all understand. And then PreachGaming, which, as I mentioned before, was one of my first ever YouTube WoW content creators. I just really enjoyed. I loved his content. Loved his class guides. Loved his drama time. Just all the silly, just low budget, real sketches that he did. They weren't these like. They were just real. They were shit, but they were real. It was just this guy having fun with his friend, making content, and it was amazing. I remember most Fridays getting in from work and we'd order a Domino's and get some beers and we'd watch drama time, me and a friend, and it was great. It was so funny to hear what other players in the community been getting up to, and he just told the stories so well. It was great, and it's great to hear that sort of stuff is going to stay. He's going to keep with that community oriented stuff it's been with his channel since the beginning. He's always been so community oriented. I remember he had like a little map of the world, and people would send in the photos of where they were in the world, and he'd always have it in the background. He had his own little PreachCon, just a really wholesome community based channel, and I'm glad he's going to sort of stick with that stuff. We both seem to have the same sort of thought processing about the lawsuit being the final straw, and just our own moral compass, and everyone has different opinions, and I felt the same as him, that it just did not sit right with me personally to support that game. And obviously he's a ginormous WoW channel. It would have been a hard decision for him to do that. I'm sure it pays his bills, basically it's his job. But yeah, I really respect that decision, but like I say, I respect people's decision to keep on playing it as well. As mentioned, there's thousands of people who still work there who they're doing a walkout to protest the statement that Blizzard released, and they've said that they do not speak for us, and I truly believe that they don't. But just for me personally, I need to take a step back from the game, and he's decided that as well. Looking at I've watched his video, but more so there was a Twitch clip, and he even stated in that video on his channel that the Twitch clip was more of an emotional take on the situation as opposed to his recently released video. You can just really see the passion and the sadness that a once great game and company has just dropped so low in people's eyes, and especially his, like I say, the passion and everything that he put into those games and creating those community events, and you can really see that it's just gone. And you know, even away from the lawsuit, he was talking about just the general direction of the game. It's just not in a good place. It's these horrible systems that people can just point out. Like I said, 5 minutes into testing, they could see that the unholy domination shard was broken, way more powerful than the others, and they just left it. And then they buffed them all and made them all really good, and then recently they've nerfed them into the ground, and now they're just useless. And it's just like, why? You have these people giving you feedback, great feedback, and it's just not listened to. The dev relationship with its community, it's just not in a good place. And Preach has actually been a victim to that. He talked about that and how he couldn't get interviews, and smaller channels than him were getting interviews, and he just couldn't understand why. And Ion had said to him that you're too harsh. It's not me who's declining your interviews, it's PR. And then he finally got one, and you know, if you've seen the interview, you've seen the interview. But some of the faces Preach was pulling to these answers, it's just a complete disconnect from the community. It's not good. But I just want to say to the both of them that I really thank them for the work they've done, and the content they've created. It's just been so enjoyable to watch over the years, and I wish them both the best. I know Preach is worried, but I think he'll be surprised that WoW's boring to watch. People are watching you for the personality and just the fun things that you can create that no one thinks of. Yeah, I think you'll do well. You just need to stick it out. And obviously, all the best to MadSeason as well. But obviously, what does this mean for the WoW community in general? They are the biggest. They're the biggest creators for WoW. They're the most known. They're the biggest channels. I know there's hundreds of thousands of streamers and all different sizes. But those two, like when I thought of WoW, I thought of Preach. I think of Asmongold. I think of MadSeason. I'm not really into PvP, but I know that PvPs have really big followings as well. And I know they're not happy either. But with Preach, MadSeason, and even Asmongold, really taking a step back from WoW, I think this is going to have a major effect on Blizzard, and a bigger one than I think they think it will. Because like I said, I don't think they have a lot of they certainly don't have a lot of respect for Asmongold. They didn't want Preach interviewing, even though he was the biggest WoW channel in the world. MadSeason's in his own, he wasn't really... I don't compare their content to the same sort of things. He just had his own unique style, but again, huge content creator moving away from the game. I think the relationship between Blizzard and the players has been terrible for so long, that I think these people sort of leaving, they're just hammering more nails into the coffin. And like I said, I don't think Preach and MadSeason leaving is going to kill WoW. Like, that's it, it's dead, everyone's left. But it's just a few more nails to that coffin that, you know, a large number of these people are going to look at these guys moving away from the game. MadSeason quitting completely. Preach is obviously going to continue. Asmon's on Final Fantasy. They're going to look at these guys playing these games and actually happy playing the game that they're playing, and not miserable and not surrounded by advertising and just all this bullshit that comes with World of Warcraft. They're going to be like, well, you know, maybe I'll try that out. You know, I want to have fun again. Like, I want to play a game that I enjoy. I think that's just going to start a chain effect on the player base to start moving away from the game. And what does that mean? Like, it's an MMO, the population is going to dwindle. It's like, and other people are like, well, where is everyone? I can't find a group. And then before you know it, all that's left is boosters. And that's it. That's the game. He's dead. I don't think this is going to happen in a couple of months, but I just think it's the start. It's the turning of the wheel of it's just not good. It's really not good. I would not be surprised either if Preach jumped into Final Fantasy. I know he's watched some of the hardest raids in their ultimate raids, I think they're called, and he's trying to understand them, and people love seeing that. People really did love seeing that, and he was like a top world mythic raider, way higher than me. I'm sure he played in Method, in Cataclysm. He's an awesome player. I really would not be surprised if he started jumping into Final Fantasy, because he needs to. Like he said, he will lose people who just want to see WoW all the time, and you know, he needs to branch out, like he said, and he's going to try new things. And he's even said he hasn't streamed WoW for a while because it's boring to watch. Nobody wants to watch WoW. It's boring. If it isn't a world first race, it's boring. PvP, nobody understands what's going on unless you're into PvP. He's been playing other games for a while, for a long time. I've seen him play Bioshock and all those different things. So yeah, but yeah, thank you for watching. Really do appreciate it. If you have any feedback, please let me know. I want to try and improve as much as I can. So yeah, peace.